Adam Silver is a madman. And sometimes I don't know if he realizes how stupid he sounds sometimes. And I'm going to play this audio here.
Opportunity. And right now, basketball is the number 2 sport in Europe, but from a commercial standpoint, generates about 1% of the revenue.
Second to soccer, I assume?
Second to soccer, yeah. But from a commercial standpoint is minuscule. And so the marketplace sees a big opportunity in basketball. I mean, we've already talked about, of course, Luka, whether it's, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's Canadian, he's not European, but, the number of international players we have now, Giannis, Wemby, some of our very best players, sure. Jokic, I could keep going on.
How many times are you going to say in the same?
About 15% of our league now is made up of European players. If anybody was watching the NCAA championship, there've been a huge increase in the last few years, largely because of NIL payments. They can make more now playing in college than they could in Europe. It's pretty straightforward. So there's no doubt that there's amazing amount of top-notch basketball being played in Europe and great development of players. So we're in this process right now, so this would be a standalone league. But I would just say over time that, I've been following, there used to be the Concorde, obviously, supersonic jets. There's a company called Boom Sonic that's saying by 2030 they're going to have supersonic jets again.
Because travel's a big concern.
But I'm just saying to your point about, whether initially you could see some of those teams competing in some tournaments we had throughout the season. But long term, I could definitely imagine we could have a division in Europe. Obviously it's a very global game. And also for our sport, that from a commercial standpoint, the arena is so much part of the operation. And what's interesting, for those who, watched the last Summer Olympics, talk about Steph Curry and his heroics, in Paris, it's a bit surprising. Like in Paris, the arena is really old. It's fine, for playing a basketball game. But from a commercial standpoint, they don't have all the back of house space that we have in our arenas, all the great restaurants and lounges and all the other commercial opportunities. So the interesting thing about our sport, it's both for these great European cities. It's not just bringing in, a potential an NBA type team, but also same thing you've seen market by market in the United States. Sort of started with this LA Live complex where, it's an arena. You see it in San Francisco now, together with retail, commercial space, residential. So it looks like a really big opportunity we're spending time on. As I said, whether we have a division is something way down the road, but I think short term, you could see, a really successful standalone league in Europe.
Last two quick
opportunity. And right now, basketball.
There's a few things that I took away from that. And I took away him saying that he wants to, expand the game. And, there's a lot of great European players that are in the NBA. 15% of the league is basically, Europeans at this point, which is great. I mean, you're expanding the game. In college, you're seeing a lot more European players that are having influence in the game. So being able to design a standalone European league that is an NBA affiliate, I don't see anything wrong with that, right? I didn't have an issue with that part. The issue that I had was, it's possible that down the line that we can be able to have European teams and we have a European division in the NBA. For what? It's an American game. It's an American game. Just gonna leave it there because that's like a soccer or football. We call it international football, saying that we are going to absorb or partner with Major League Soccer. So we're going to have an American division in international soccer. You know what they're going to look at? They're going to be like, why? That's stupid. It's not the same game, one. And two, they have their own league. You want to go play there? Go play there. You want to go make big money and play big superstars over here? You come over here. Why would you ever do that? Oh, and they might have some supersonic trains or planes or whatever. You can have one of those Star Trek teleporters. No, I don't give a damn. It's a stupid idea. We don't want a European division in basketball. That's just stupid. Can you imagine? Oh, football, we're gonna have a European division. We're gonna have a London division. We're gonna then have Brazil. We're gonna have who cares? It's an American game. You want to go ahead and have NFL Europe again? Go do that again. See what happens. Grow the pipeline over there, and maybe you can see what happens. But why would you even consider expanding the league to another continent? What are we doing? Just stupid. Fix the game that you have here. How about you make divisions count? Fix the tanking situation. Fix the load management situation. Fix your own damn house before you start looking at another house or start building up the backside of the house that you live in, but yet your basement, you still don't have a finished basement. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You ever go into somebody's house and you go in it, it's like, okay, this house is nice, but why do you have like a cellar for your basement? Fix it. It's incomplete. Unless you're in the flood zone and you don't want to touch it, okay, cool. But if you don't, fix it. Don't tell me that you're going to go ahead and go build another house in the back when you still got an unfinished basement. That's what the NBA is. You telling me all of this nonsense that you thinking about doing, but your basement is still unfinished. Fix the base of your game. Make it more serious in regards to having divisions count, because if you make divisions count, you're going to make games in the regular season count more. Now, instead of people tuning the games out, because you do have a fan base that loves watching the game, but you also have a lot of people that have been very disengaged with basketball this year. But if the divisions are on the line and they count, and that means that games heading to the end of the season, when it comes to divisions, they matter because seeding is involved. I don't give a damn about having some supersonic jets where you can be able to get to Argentina in a half hour. I don't care. You can have Bewitch come down and blink, do the blink shit, and you can be able to get there in 5 seconds. I don't care. That's not the issue for the NBA to be able to continue to grow and be a good sport. It's about fixing the bullshit that you have in your current product. So, not a fan of it. No, don't do it. Moving on.